What if your biggest security threat already has the keys? When blind spots become backdoors and AI rewrites every rule, the real danger isn't what's breaking in, it's what's already inside. What is the truth about cybersecurity and third-party risk management in the GenAI era? We spend billions fortifying our digital perimeters, building massive walls to keep the bad actors out of our networks. But the truth is far more unsettling. The most devastating breaches today aren't happening because a mastermind hacker cracked a firewall. They are happening because our own people are quietly installing invisible backdoors, plugging unmonitored AI agents directly into the heart of our corporate systems. How did the corporate security perimeter vanish so suddenly? For decades, IT departments controlled exactly what software entered the building. You couldn't just install a new application without rigorous vetting and executive approval. That era is over. Welcome to the age of shadow AI. By 2025, a staggering 89% of the AI tools used by employees were completely invisible to central IT. Workers are bypassing security to boost productivity, using unsanctioned generative models to write code, draft emails, and analyze highly sensitive financial spreadsheets. If employees are constantly bypassing IT to use these tools, what exactly happens to all that proprietary corporate data? Surely these advanced AI platforms have built-in safeguards to protect user inputs, right?
Not necessarily. In April 2023, Samsung engineers accidentally leaked highly classified semiconductor code to ChatGPT 3 times in just 20 days. And it's not just employees making mistakes. A single misconfigured Azure token used by Microsoft AI researchers accidentally exposed 38 terabytes of private corporate data to the open internet.
Can't traditional vendor risk assessments catch these massive vulnerabilities before they are deployed? We have massive compliance checklists and security questionnaires designed specifically to grade a third-party vendor's homework. Those checklists are now dangerously obsolete. Auditing an autonomous AI vendor with a static spreadsheet is like trying to lock a living organism in a standard vault. AI models constantly evolve, ingest new data, and rewrite their own pathways. Recognizing this failure, the EU's new DORA mandate now forces companies to abandon static checks. But what happens when the third-party AI tools themselves become the ultimate weapon? If an AI vendor is compromised, how deep into an enterprise network can the attackers actually reach? They can reach everything. In April 2026, attackers breached the major cloud platform Vercel by compromising a third-party AI tool called Context.ai. By weaponizing the tool's OAuth access, they bypassed primary defenses entirely, moving laterally through the network to demand a $2 million ransom, proving that third-party AI is the ultimate Trojan horse. Are multi-billion-dollar enterprise firewalls completely useless against these OAuth-based AI supply chain attacks? We've spent decades building digital fortresses, assuming they would protect our most valuable proprietary assets. They are completely blind to it. Attackers don't need to break in, they just log in. In late 2025, a single leaked API key found on GitHub gave hackers unauthenticated access to 48 proprietary language models at XAI for nearly 2 months. Traditional security architectures simply cannot see these API-level supply chain hijackings. So what is the actual scale of this new threat landscape? And how can security leaders possibly defend against systems that are constantly changing their own rules? As of May 2026, a staggering 83% of all reported security breaches are linked to artificial intelligence, fundamentally rewriting the rules of third-party risk. This cinematic shift from static software to autonomous decision-making AI models has rendered traditional compliance obsolete. To survive, leaders must abandon point-in-time audits and embrace continuous, zero-trust behavioral monitoring. Are we truly prepared for a corporate reality where our software makes its own decisions? As autonomous AI agents begin talking to other AI agents without human oversight, who is really in control? We are playing a dangerous game of catch-up. The illusion of a secure perimeter is gone forever. In the GenAI era, trust is a vulnerability. Tomorrow's security cannot rely on yesterday's audits.
It must evolve at the exact same hyperspeed as the artificial intelligence it is desperately trying to contain. What is the truth about cybersecurity and third-party risk management in the GenAI era? We stand at the precipice of a technological revolution, but beneath the surface of unprecedented productivity lies a hidden, sprawling network of unseen digital threats. The truth is that the traditional corporate perimeter has completely evaporated. We are no longer just defending against outside hackers breaking in. Instead, the real danger is already inside our networks, quietly invited in by the very employees and third-party vendors we trust to keep our businesses running smoothly. How are these new, sophisticated threats slipping right past the multi-billion-dollar enterprise firewalls we've spent decades building? Security teams are heavily armed, yet they seem entirely blind to the artificial intelligence agents operating within their own walls. They slip past through the growing phenomenon of shadow AI. By 2025, a staggering 89% of enterprise AI usage was completely invisible to central IT departments. Employees are rapidly adopting third-party generative tools and granting them deep API access, creating unmonitored shadow connections that bypass traditional security protocols entirely. What happens when these invisible, everyday AI tools mishandle the highly classified corporate secrets we so willingly feed them? The rush to innovate has turned every employee's browser into a potential conduit for massive, irreversible data exposure. The consequences are immediate and devastating. In April 2023, Samsung engineers accidentally leaked highly classified semiconductor code to ChatGPT 3 separate times in just 20 days. Similarly, a single misconfigured token by Microsoft AI researchers accidentally exposed 38 terabytes of private corporate data to the open web. If simple human mistakes cause such massive leaks, how easily can malicious actors exploit these interconnected AI supply chains? We are handing over the keys to our digital kingdoms, often without realizing who might find them. Frighteningly easily. In late 2025, attackers scoured GitHub and found a single leaked API key. That tiny, forgotten string of text granted them unauthenticated access to 48 proprietary language models at XAI for nearly 2 months. One small oversight unlocked an entire vault of cutting-edge artificial intelligence. Could a compromised third-party AI tool actually be weaponized to hold an entire enterprise? The integration of external AI agents means that a vendor's vulnerability instantly becomes your company's most critical point of failure. Absolutely. In April 2026, attackers breached the cloud platform Vercel, not by attacking them directly, but by compromising a third-party AI tool called Context.ai. They weaponized its OAuth access to infiltrate the broader system, culminating in a brazen $2 million ransom demand that proved the lethal potential of supply chain attacks. But surely critical vulnerabilities in enterprise AI frameworks are quickly identified and patched by dedicated security teams. We assume that the infrastructure supporting multi-million-dollar AI initiatives is built on a foundation of impenetrable, enterprise-grade code. Not always. A critical missing authentication flaw in the Ray AI framework was actually dismissed as a mere design choice. This oversight sparked a massive 7-month hacking campaign where attackers didn't just steal data, they hijacked expensive corporate AI servers to mine cryptocurrency, turning enterprise infrastructure into illicit profit centers. With AI models acting autonomously and vendors introducing hidden risks, how can security leaders possibly defend the modern enterprise? The old methods of evaluating risk are failing against machines that learn, adapt, and make independent decisions. As of May 2026, a staggering 83% of all reported security breaches are linked to artificial intelligence, fundamentally rewriting the rules of third-party risk. While organizations spend billions fortifying their front doors, employees and vendors are quietly installing invisible backdoors by plugging unmonitored GenAI agents directly into corporate APIs. This shift from static software to autonomous, decision-making AI models has rendered traditional compliance checklists obsolete.
To survive this cinematic shift in the threat landscape, security leaders must abandon point-in-time audits and embrace continuous, zero-trust behavioral monitoring. Will this shift toward continuous monitoring finally kill the outdated tradition of grading our own security homework? For decades, vendor risk management relied on static questionnaires that offered a false sense of security in a dynamic world. It has to. Regulations like the EU's Digital Operational Resilience Act now mandate continuous oversight of third-party risks. Auditing an AI vendor with a static spreadsheet is like trying to lock a living organism in a standard vault. The future of cybersecurity isn't a static checklist. It's a living, breathing defense system. We've explored continuous monitoring and the death of the standard compliance checklist. But as we look at the wreckage of recent enterprise hacks, we have to ask, what is the truth about cybersecurity and third-party risk management in the GenAI era? The terrifying truth is that our multi-billion-dollar perimeter defenses are facing the wrong direction. While security teams obsess over fortifying the front doors against traditional malware, the real threat is already inside the building. It's sitting on the desks of your most trusted employees, seamlessly integrated into their daily workflows, and operating completely under the radar. If the threat is already inside the building, how exactly are trusted employees accidentally dismantling enterprise security from the inside out? How does a simple quest for workplace efficiency suddenly become a catastrophic corporate vulnerability? It happens through what we call shadow AI. By late 2025, an astonishing 89% of all enterprise AI usage was completely invisible to central IT departments. We saw the devastating consequences of this when Samsung engineers, simply trying to speed up their coding process, accidentally leaked highly classified semiconductor blueprints to ChatGPT 3 separate times in just 20 days.
Pasting code into a public chatbot is dangerous. But what happens when these invisible, third-party AI productivity tools are granted direct, unmonitored access to the corporate nervous system? What occurs when they plug straight into the enterprise core?
The results are incredibly lucrative for cybercriminals. In April 2026, attackers compromised a third-party AI analytics tool called Context.ai. They didn't need to breach the target company directly. They simply weaponized the AI tool's existing OAuth permissions to infiltrate Vercel, a major cloud platform. This single supply chain exploit instantly triggered a massive $2 million ransom demand. If a simple analytics app can compromise a major cloud platform, surely the tech giants building these foundational AI models have locked down their own proprietary assets. How secure are the actual architects of the artificial intelligence revolution? They are alarmingly vulnerable. In late 2025, the AI landscape was rocked when a single mismanaged API key was discovered leaked on GitHub. That one string of text gave attackers completely unauthenticated access to 48 proprietary large language models at XAI. For nearly 2 months, the keys to the kingdom were just sitting in plain sight, waiting to be claimed. With such colossal amounts of data at stake, why are traditional multi-billion-dollar enterprise firewalls completely blind to these massive digital hemorrhages? Why do our most expensive security systems fail to trigger any alarms?
Because these systems were built to catch malware, not misconfigurations. To a firewall, an AI agent extracting data looks exactly like an authorized user doing their job. This was painfully clear when a misconfigured Azure token, used by Microsoft's own AI researchers, accidentally exposed 38 terabytes of highly private corporate data. The firewall saw an authorized token and simply let the data flow.
If the malicious traffic looks perfectly legitimate to our defenses, are we dealing with sophisticated targeted hacks, or are we facing fundamental design flaws in the AI infrastructure itself? Are the tools inherently broken by design? In many cases, the vulnerabilities are built right in. Take the Ray AI framework, which had a critical missing authentication flaw, carrying a near-perfect 9.8 severity score. Shockingly, this was initially dismissed by developers as a mere design choice or feature. Hackers immediately exploited this so-called feature in a massive 7-month campaign, hijacking expensive corporate AI servers just to mine cryptocurrency.
With firewalls completely blind, shadow AI running rampant across the workforce, and critical vulnerabilities dismissed as mere features, what is the ultimate, undeniable reality of third-party risk management in this new era? What is the true scope of the threat?
As of May 2026, a staggering 83% of all reported security breaches are linked to artificial intelligence, fundamentally rewriting the rules of third-party risk. While organizations spend billions fortifying their front doors, employees and vendors are quietly installing invisible backdoors by plugging unmonitored GenAI agents directly into corporate APIs. This shift from static software to autonomous decision-making AI models has rendered traditional compliance checklists utterly obsolete. To survive this cinematic shift, security leaders must abandon point-in-time audits and embrace continuous, zero-trust behavioral monitoring.
We started by asking, cybersecurity and third-party risk management in the Gen A era. And the answer? As of May 2026, a staggering 83% of all reported security breaches are linked to artificial intelligence, fundamentally rewriting the rules of third-party risk. While organizations spend billions fortifying their front doors, employees and vendors are quietly installing invisible backdoors by plugging unmonitored Gen A agents directly into corporate APIs. If this changed how you see things, share it with someone who needs to hear it.